Welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris, and I am your host. And my guest is George Holland, a local attorney who happens to be the president of the Oakland branch of the NAACP. George, why do you think so many Republicans have come out of the closet and are now just kissing Donald Trump and all of his attempts to overthrow the government, and they're just out of the closet? They're everywhere. Why do you think all of a sudden they're so brave?
It's kind of like a herd mentality. Donald Trump obtained the presidency by just being an outright scoundrel.
Scumbag, right, I agree.
And that kind of attitude seems to have attracted a number of people who want to imitate him. Mm-hmm. They think you can come in as a bully and assert yourself in a very negative way, say bad things about people. You know, even the other candidates like Ted Cruz saying he had an ugly wife and saying that his daddy had
But Ted Cruz is still hugging him, even though he has Ted Cruz has an ugly wife.
Yeah, so for a man to accept someone talking about his wife, thinking that there's a higher calling than protecting your family. You know, I mean, you don't say things about a person's wife. It didn't tell your mother and father or your dad had something to do with killing Kennedy.
Well, if you're Ted Cruz, you can get away with it because he has no values.
Well, you know, and little Mario out of Florida. I mean, this man was just out of control, talking about any and everybody, and it was almost like entertainment to every day to wake up to see what this fool said today. I mean, he is a president of the United States, supposedly to try to unify this country, but he was dividing it because he knew and felt that the strong can prevail.
Well, the problem with Trump was that he was elected by a minority of the people. He never got a majority vote. He was elected because of the Electoral College, which is designed to allow a person from the minority party to rule. And that shows you what you get when you have an electoral college that allows the minority to rule.
That's right.
Hillary Clinton won by more than 3 million votes. And then Joe Biden won by almost 7 million votes. And now Trump is saying what? They stole the election for me. I mean, the scumbag ought to be thrown out of this nation and prosecuted.
Yeah, what bothers me is that the Democrats unfortunately came in talking about bipartisanship.
Bipartisanship?
Yeah,
what is that?
I mean, I don't know, because I didn't see Republicans reaching out trying to extend any bipartisanship to anybody. They were just for themselves.
Absolutely.
And so when you are trying to prevail over someone who was your enemy, basically, you just use the same tactic that they did. You just steamroll over them. I mean, that's what politics has come to, because you can't talk across the aisle, as Biden would say, because these people are not listening. They're still trying to take over the government.
Well, they're still controlled by Trump, and they don't care. They don't care at all. So I have a question here. I was watching the State of the Union, and then I watched Senator Tim Scott give the response. And the thing that shocked me about it was that he said that America is not racist. Now, is that true, George?
I have to oftentimes go back to the dictionary and read what the meaning of these words are. Like before coming this day, I just had a need to get a definition of democracy, gerrymandering, and racism. Mm-hmm. And I guess when all the treatment that I've received throughout my life, those incidents which I thought were based on race and we call it discrimination based on race, I still don't think I need anybody to define certain things for me. So for Senator Scott to say that America's not racism, and I can see, because I think I see people who, and black people too, who've gotten educated and really think that doesn't apply to me, those kind of things that occur. And so they think that they have escaped, that they've succeeded, that they're going to get this fair treatment because they're educated and some of them have lots of money. And then somebody use the N-word on them.
Well, they don't understand, I suppose, that if you read the Constitution, it says that black folks 3/5 of a person. Now, if that isn't racist, what is racism? 3/5 of a person.
Yeah, but
that means you're not even a person.
But see, some of us, especially those who are lawyers, we read cases, legal cases that, like Dred Scott and Brown versus Board of Education, Plessy versus Ferguson. And so we read these things. But if you tell the ordinary person that you're only 2/3 of a person, and I say, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? You know, you try to explain that to them, because it's hard to believe that anyone can treat you as if you're not a person. And I just think, we think about slavery and discrimination. I mean, the things that slaves had to go through in this country, and then not recognizing that they think the South was the enemy, when they realize that the North also benefited from slavery.
Absolutely, the whole country
the whole country
benefited
did.
from slavery.
So this whole country is based on slavery. Slavery was our economic base.
Right.
And now here we are talking about reparations.
And what was slavery based on? Slavery was based upon the most brutal force ever impacted upon mankind.
Free labor.
That free labor, raping our black women. I mean, it is just absolutely incredible. I don't want to get carried away. We do have to go to break. So don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and George Holland is my guest, president of the NAACP Oakland branch.